Sawadee. I'm Alan Shaw. This is the fourth video in this series. The series is entitled Thai Tones Advanced Class, and the topic of this video is reduction, which I'll explain right now. The term reduction is related, of course, to the verb to reduce, which in linguistics means to shorten or simplify some aspect of language. In this video, I'm going to talk about two ways in which the 5 Thai tones are commonly reduced. In every sentence, some syllables are stressed and some syllables are unstressed. In everyday conversational Thai, in unstressed syllables, both the vowel and the tone will usually be reduced. Now, no matter how that unstressed syllable is spelled, the vowel will usually be reduced to a vowel sound called schwa. Let me get my little pointer right here. Here is schwa. What is schwa? Schwa is a very short vowel sound, very, very short, like really short, just like a dot, not a line, not any sort of a contour, just boom, kind of like a little dot, boom. It's indistinct. What does that mean? It means you can't tell what it is. If you just took that schwa out of that word and just listened to it, you would have no idea how it was spelled in that word, because it has no definition to tell you. You know what the vowel is because of the context of the word. But by listening just to schwa by itself, you would not know. And finally, and very importantly, schwa is a central vowel. Why is that important? All of your vowels and all of the sounds that you make, consonants and vowels, are produced in particular parts of your mouth, right? So if whatever sound you're producing, no matter if it's toward the front of your mouth, the back, up high, down low, because schwa is a central vowel located right in the middle of your mouth, it's never far from any consonant, never far from any vowel. Okay, so it's very easy to get to, and it makes pronouncing the word very quick and very easy. So it's a great shortcut. Schwa is a wonderful shortcut. Okay, what is right down here? We have the IPA. IPA is the International Phonetic Alphabet. Okay, they have a whole set of symbols for various sounds in all the world's languages. The IPA symbol for schwa is this, and that is the symbol that I will use also in my examples. Okay, so in unstressed syllables in Thai sentences, the vowel is usually reduced to schwa. So what about the tones? Because what we're primarily interested in this series is the tones. The tones are usually going to be reduced to a sound that I call schwon. Let me get my pointer right here. Right here, schwon. This is my word. I went to the International Phonetic Alphabet and I looked to see if there's a symbol for a tone like this. I couldn't find one. So this is pretty obviously, I think, a combination of schwa and tone, because schwa and schwon really go together. So this is my own word for the name of this tone that usually is associated with schwa. So what is schwon? Very much like schwa. Schwon is a very short, indistinct, middle-ish tone. So it doesn't go anywhere. It's again like sort of like that. Really very short, indistinct, so there's no direction to it. It's not like it goes up a little bit or down or has any sort of contour. It's almost just like a little dot, okay? And then middle-ish. The vowel, schwa, was a central vowel. This tone, schwon, is a middle-ish tone. By middleish, I mean it's maybe not always exactly in the middle, but it's floating around the middle. So it's kind of like a middle tone. So just like with schwa, no matter what consonant or vowel precedes it or follows it, it's always close to schwa. The same thing is true with schwon. No matter what tone precedes it, no matter what tone follows it, schwon is never far away. So it's very easy to get to and very easy to get from schwon to whatever tone follows it. Okay, here's a little note. I tried to find a symbol for this in the IPA of the symbol chart. I couldn't find one, so I'm going to use the IPA symbol for schwa, which is right here. I will use that to represent schwon in the following examples. Okay, so here we have an example. This is the karaoke script version of the Thai word for telephone. It has 3 syllables. The first and third syllable are stressed and the middle syllable is unstressed. So being unstressed in everyday, casual, informal conversation, this will be reduced to the vowel will be reduced to schwa and the tone will be reduced to schwon. So let's start first with the unreduced version. Would be something like this. So to ra sap, to ra sap, to ra sap, something like that. Okay, now the reduced version, which is what you're more likely to hear, I think, in everyday Thai conversation, this vowel is going to be reduced to schwa, and this tone, the high tone, is going to be reduced to schwon. So it's going to sound like uh, 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 r, r. Okay, so it would be something like to r sap, to r sap. Notice when you move from here to here, the tone doesn't go anywhere. It's right there, and the vowel stays right there. Everything stays right here, so there's no distance to be traveled here. Okay, and then it's just a very short step from here to here. So tora sap, tora sap, tora sap. So I think you might be able to get a sense of the fact that it's a little bit easier and a little bit faster to pronounce this word when this tone and this vowel are reduced to this tone and this vowel. So here's another example. This is the karaoke script version of the Thai word for university. And we can see that it has 6 syllables. This is the unreduced version. So the first syllable is unstressed. And it has a high tone. The second and third syllables are stressed. The fourth syllable is unstressed, has a high tone. And then the fifth and sixth syllables are stressed. So these 2 syllables highlighted in yellow become candidates for reduction in everyday conversational Thai. So what happens? Well, first let's pronounce it as best I can according to the unreduced pronunciation. Okay, so the first one is going to be something like ma, 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 ma. So you can hear a sort of a trajectory going slightly upward, and you can hear a vowel, ma, and then down here, ha, so ma, ha, and then here, wheat, and then ta, ta. Okay, so again, you can hear the vowel and you can hear a little bit of a high. You can hear a little bit of a pitch change moving upward here in this tone, wheat, ta, and then these 2 are level tones, ya, lai. So something like ma, ha, we, da, ya, lai. Okay. Now, reduced version, this and this high tone are going to be reduced to schwa and schwon. So just m, right? Real short, no definition. If you took this out of this word, you would have no idea how it was spelled, right? You need the context to know what tone this is, what vowel this is. Okay, so this becomes so ma, ha, maha becomes maha, maha. I think you can probably hear it's a small difference, but it's an important difference in how quickly you can pronounce this one, how easily you can pronounce this one as compared to this one. Okay, moving on to this pair here. Here we have wita, wita becomes wita, wita, wita. Schwa, schwan, that's it. Really short, very quick, easy to pronounce. And then here at the end, yalai, yalai, yalai. Okay, so if we take the first one, let me do my best to pronounce these somewhat reasonably. So here would be something like that. Maha wita yalai. Maha wita yalai. Okay, and down here it's going to be shorter. It'll be maha, maha wita yalai. Maha wita yalai. I know the pronunciation isn't perfect, but I think you get the idea. And I hope you can hear also that the reduction of this and of these two syllables here to schwa and schwon and these two syllables is a really nice shortcut. This is an example of a really common shortcut in everyday spoken Thai. Okay, so now let's have a look at a second way in which Thai tones are commonly reduced in everyday conversational Thai. I divide the Thai tones into two classes. Different other terminology is used in the field. I like this terminology that I'm going to use now. I like it better. So I divide them into two classes, complex tones and simple tones. Complex tones are your rising tone and your falling tone. I call them complex because they start in one direction and then they change direction. So the rising tone starts down and then goes up, falling tone starts up and then comes down. Okay, so they're complex in the sense that they go two directions. Simple tones just go basically one direction. So your high tone might go up a little bit, but just one direction. Middle tone, one direction. Low tone, down, one direction. Okay, so what typically very commonly happens in everyday conversational Thai is that these complex tones become simple tones. Really super common and a great shortcut. A great shortcut. So here's an example. Let me get my little marker here. So here's the word moon, moon, like moon kan, moon, 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 moon kan. Okay, so moon, moon, a diphthong, right? So what happens really commonly with this word in particular in everyday conversational Thai is it becomes mun, mun. So instead of mun, it becomes mun. Much faster, much easier, okay? So instead of mun, mun kan, mun kan, mun kan, it's going to be mun kan, mun kan. I think it's pretty easy to hear how that second pronunciation is much easier and much faster, okay? Okay, I'd like to give you one more example of how a complex tone is reduced to a simple tone in everyday conversational Thai. Let me get my little marker here. So here's a very common sentence in Thai. It's a question. So it is here is to go, where, come. Basically, it is where have you been? Where did you go? Where are you coming from? It could be translated any of those ways. So the pronunciation is something like bai, nai, ma. This is the unreduced pronunciation. Here's a complex tone. Bai, nai, ma, bai, nai, ma, bai, nai, ma. Okay? But what you'll probably hear in everyday Thai is something more like this. This complex tone is going to become this simple tone, nai, nai. So from nai to nai. Okay, so now it's bai nai ma, bai nai ma, bai nai ma. So again, I think you can hear how this second version of this pronunciation is just a little bit simpler, a little bit easier, a really nice shortcut again in conversational Thai. Okay, that's it for this video. As always, please let me know in the comments what you think. Until next time, Sawadee ka.